We have been clear that we cannot agree to anything that threatens the integrity of our United Kingdom. And I'm sure the whole House shares the government's view on this. Indeed, the House of Commons set out its view when agreeing unanimously Part 6, Section 55 of the Taxation Cross-Border Trade Act on a single United Kingdom customs territory. This states, quote, "It shall be unlawful for Her Majesty's Government to enter into arrangements under which Northern Ireland forms part of a separate customs territory to Great Britain." So, Mr. Speaker, this message is clear, not just from this government, but from this whole House. Second, Mr. Speaker, I need to be able to look the British people in the eye and say this backstop is a temporary solution. People are rightly concerned that what is only meant to be temporary could become a permanent limbo, with no new relationship between the UK and the EU ever agreed. I'm clear we are not going to be trapped permanently in a single customs territory, unable to do meaningful trade deals. So it must be the case, first, that the backstop should not need to come into force. Second, that if it does, it must be temporary. And third, while I do not believe this will be the case, if the EU were not to cooperate on our future relationship, we must be able to ensure that we cannot be kept in this backstop arrangement indefinitely. I would not expect this House to agree to a deal unless we have the reassurance that the UK as a sovereign nation has this say over our arrangements with the EU. Mr. Speaker, I do not believe the UK and the EU are far apart. We both agree that Article 50 cannot provide the legal basis for a permanent relationship, and we both agree this backstop must be temporary. So we must now work together to give effect to that agreement. Mr. Speaker, so much of these negotiations are necessarily technical, but the reason this all matters is because it affects the future of our country. It affects jobs and livelihoods in every community. It is about what kind of country we are and about our faith in our democracy. Of course, it is frustrating that almost all of the remaining points of disagreement are focused on how we manage a scenario which both sides hope should never come to pass, and which, if it does, will only be temporary. We cannot let this disagreement derail the prospects of a good deal and leave us with the no-deal outcome that no one wants. I continue to believe that a negotiated deal is the best outcome for the UK and for the European Union. I continue to believe that such a deal is achievable, and that is the spirit in which I will continue to work with our European partners, and I commend this statement to the House.